Okay, guys. Hey, I am at home sick today, so I'm not going to be sharing my camera with you guys because I am not feeling great. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through our course info for this week and what our due dates are and all of that. So let's move on down to where we're at, which is the 20th. Um, this is going to be like a extended like two parts of module two. So this is going to be like our assignments week, not so much an ed puzzles week, but we've got several assignments going on. So I'm going to make sure we go through all of those, and yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. So you'll see here that the due dates are listed all right here. So what is due for this week is our module two quiz, the lesson five color theory discussion, and the project one art analysis outline. Not the whole thing, but just the outline. So we'll jump in here. The color discussion, so you will need to, task one is to create your own color wheel. Now you can use any, printout template you want to use, or if you just want to draw it yourself, you can do that as well. But please remember, based on our ed puzzle from last week, note that there are the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary colors that all need to be present. It makes 12 colors altogether, so that's what you need to be looking for. Remember, the primaries are ones that cannot be mixed. So they are all like they make sort of a triangle on the color wheel. They need to be as far away from one another as they can be. And then the secondaries are between the primaries, and then the tertiaries are between the secondaries and the primaries. There are, let me see here, two, four, what is it? What does it make? So there's six tertiaries. There we go. That's what I was looking for there. There should be six tertiaries, three secondaries, and three primaries to make 12. So again, you can use a template if you'd like to, or you can just draw it yourself, totally up to you, but they need to be placed in the correct spots, and they also need to be the correct color. They need to be the correct colors in the correct spots, and there should be 12 altogether. The second task for the color discussion is that you are going to be doing a app or downloading an app called Blendoku. You can, if you have a smartphone, you can download it on the Google Play Store or on Apple or the Android store, like whatever phone you have. And I would suggest on this downloading Blendoku 2. You can do Blendoku 1 or just like the original one, but Blendoku 2 tends to be more accessible and just more user friendly in general. So I would recommend that opposed to just the regular first Blendoku. If you don't have a phone that can download the app, you should be able to download it on your computer, or not even downloaded it, but just follow one of these links here and you can play it on your computer. But if you have an issue with it, please let me know earlier than later. And what I want you to do is spend up to 45 minutes, or spend 45 minutes at least playing the game. And then I want you to take a screenshot of your highest level that you achieve. You can just go to that first screen if you want to, once you actually start playing it, where it says the levels that you've completed, and you can just screenshot there to show me where you're at. And then task three is to reflect on your color exploration. What did you learn? Be sure to use at least 2 lesson 5 vocabulary terms, and your writing must be at least 3 to 5 sentences. Task 4 is to respond to a classmate in a meaningful way, and use at least 2 lesson 5 vocabulary terms in your response. Quiz 2 is just what it always is. It's just the quizzes. As a reminder, you need to make sure that when you go to take the quiz, that you are prepared to spend 20 minutes taking the quiz uninterrupted. As always, you can use your notes if you'd like to, but just make sure you're not clicking away from the page, clicking back, accidentally exiting it out. It will not let you restart the quiz, and there is only one attempt. So I've got this disclosure here. It gives you another disclosure when you click on the quiz. And remember that if a technical error like that occurs, it is not an excuse for a makeup quiz or for me to reopen the quiz. So just you need to make sure that you are prepared. There are lots of warnings and disclosures before you begin it. So there really should not be any reason that you need to make another attempt. And the last thing is our project one outline. This is leading up to project one that'll be due in a couple weeks. But for the project one outline, you're going to choose an artwork for project one. The goal is to establish a basic outline that you will further develop when you write your paper. You must stick with this artwork for the full assignment. So, make sure that you are aware that you are using the same artwork for either or for both of the art analysis outline and the art analysis full paper. And the art analysis for this course is viewing and analyzing an artwork in its environment or collection virtually as the final assignment, or this is not the final assignment, I should have reworded that, but as the assignment for art appreciation, all other exercises and assignments have been building your observation and analytical skills to arrive at this point. I'm just going to go ahead and change that real quick while we're there, because I did used to use this for our final project, but this is not the final project. So let's make sure that we are all on the same page there. Just while I'm editing things. Well, it's okay. I'll go back to it later. But just note this is not the final assignment. So what you're going to be doing is identifying your chosen artwork to analyze and list the title, medium, date, dimensions, and museum and collection that it's in, or location that it's in. Include a high quality image of the artwork. I would also just go ahead and label it, like it says, label the create a label for the artwork. List what are the 3 formal elements in the composition and how do you intend to discuss them. Please refer to lessons 3 through 6 for the formal elements, and briefly describe how each of these elements are used and point to the specific parts in the artwork. Which 2 organizing principles of design, so you can look ahead if you'd like to on that, but just pick a couple of them, and even if you don't know totally about them yet, this is something that we'll talk about in lesson 7. I just want you to kind of guess what you want to talk about here and how the principles of design that you choose are used. Briefly state how does the work relate to its culture's history, values, politics, economy, or beliefs and practices. Maybe choose one of those. And think about how the work of art is representative of what is going on in the culture it was created in. And then lastly, list what is the subject matter being presented in the artwork. So this is, again, subject matter does not mean a interpretation, a look into the content. You're just describing to me what it is that you see, not giving me opinions, not using a lot of like adjectives to describe, if it feels sad or happy or, whatever. Just tell me as if you were a robot, looking at an artwork, what it is that is in front of you. This does not need to get into any opinions or the content or anything like that. Just list what is directly in front of us as the way it exists. But that's all that you have to do for this week. I know it's a lot of little assignments, but no Edpuzzles, so that's a good thing. If you have any issues with the Blendoku, please let me know as soon as possible. If you are kind of limited on time, maybe just go ahead and check out real quick to make sure that you can download the app on your phone or that you can look at it on your computer. I've had a couple issues before with people not being able to view it on their Chromebooks that their high schools give them. Sometimes they work or sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on what school you're at and what like blocks they have on different things. So just try to get that out of the way sooner or later. Please don't try to message me on Sunday night and ask for an alternative assignment. I probably at that point it's going to be too late for us to discuss anything. So if there's something that we need to do instead, if you can't download the app, we can talk about that early in the week. The last thing that I want to kind of bring up is just a reminder on some of our policies that we've got going on. I think we're getting a little bit slack on just making sure that we are taking the email policy seriously. I don't know why my computer's taking a second to load here. There we go. I think we're getting like a little bit slack though on the email policy. The section number rule where you need to include your section number, which for us it is P6D, in your emails to me. I've got 5 other sections of art appreciation. I'm not trying to make you feel sorry for me or anything, but I've got 5 other sections of art appreciation this semester. I've got over 200 students, and I do, I'm starting to remember people's names finally and, get acquainted better. But at the same time, I'm going to have to look through all of my different course lists to find you if you don't include your section number. And just frankly, I don't have time to do that. So, please include your section number for me. Also, please, I've had several people start doing this for whatever reason this past week. Um, don't stop using your Gaston College email. I've gotten several emails from personal accounts that, and I consider a personal account anything that's not the gaston.edu email address. Um, several of those this week, and I really cannot respond to those emails. I'm not allowed to respond to them. I feel really sorry because it's, it's some people that are really struggling with something, or it's like an important issue that they're having, but they're not responding on their college email, and so I am not allowed to respond to their email. So please make sure you're using your Gaston College email. And lastly, just please be sure that you are using Netiquette and that you are not just treating the email policy like a text message. It's not the same thing. You need to make sure that you're signing off on your emails, that you're addressing who you're talking to, and you're not sending this like a, half generated text message that you would send to one of your friends. That's not, super important to everybody, but it is important to me. And I would appreciate you guys just, being courteous about that. Lastly, I've also had some issues with the late policy stuff. That's going to be in our syllabus, so I'm not going to jump and try to get my computer to load all through that. But so with the late work policy, again, I'm not trying to be harsh with it, but I have a lot of classes, and reopening an assignment, grading something through email, it just really is super time consuming and time that I don't have, unfortunately. So I would really appreciate it, if you make sure that your assignments are turned in on time, that you're allowing yourself enough time in the week to complete all of your assignments, and that, it's not that it's the 11th hour and you don't have time to finish it. I'm not going to be able to give you an extension for that. And yeah, I just don't want to seem like I'm being harsh on you guys, but I've had to tell a lot of people this week that I can't accept their late work for the reasons that they've given me. If you have a doctor's note, it needs to be excusing you like from all activities from this date to this date. If it's like, you just went to the doctor, you went to urgent care, and like, you were seen, that's, I mean, if we were an in-person class, that would be good enough for you to excuse like all your week or all your work for the week. But if you're just simply giving me an urgent care note that you went to urgent care and they saw you, and that's all it says, that's excusing you maybe for the day of your classes, but not for an entire week of work. So, if it's a doctor's note that's like, you're in the hospital, hopefully that does not happen to anybody. But if there's something like that where it's like you have to be out for several days, I will consider that to extend your assignments for you. Or if it's something that's above that and it's like, me and your counselor, or me and your advisor are in contact about it, and it's a big deal sort of thing, that I will excuse your work. But I really do mean it when I say I don't accept late work unless there are outstanding circumstances surrounding it. Not that this week, and I've had this before, but if it's, I had a date on Valentine's Day, and I couldn't submit my work because I had this date on a Tuesday, or I was at a Super Bowl party late on Sunday night, and so I couldn't submit all of my work, or I had a soccer game and I couldn't submit my work. I really do like feel for you. I know it's like hard to balance things sometimes, but you're signing up for this college class and you know what it entails. And so I just, have to assume that the kind of like requirements of taking this college level class is going to be, you balancing your time. So again, sorry to end on a harsh note there, but I just wanted to remind you guys of that again and make sure that we are all on the same page. But otherwise, I think that we are good for this week. If you have any questions, please let me know earlier than later. Again, with the Blindoku thing, if that becomes an issue, check that today if you can, and just make sure that you can get access to it. And if not, I can give you an alternative assignment instead of that one. But otherwise, hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon.